using AI technology, and the first major instance in which commercial AI models made in the United States have been used in warfare. Let's speak to Dr. Tal Mimran. He is a professor of international law and technology at the Hebrew University and a former operational legal advisor in the Israel Defense Forces. He's in Jerusalem for us. Just explain to us, first of all, what that role entailed within the war room.
Hello, Christian.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you well.
Good. Just explain what your former role was then in the war room. When we say you were an operational legal advisor, what does that mean?
So an operational legal advisor sits usually in the commander's room and gives advices on the proper application of international humanitarian law in different situations in the battlefield. The most notable and the most exceptional role of an operational legal advisor is to sit in a target room and to authorize and to give advice in relation to targeting from the air by the Israeli Air Force. So the way that it operates is that you have a target room with a military commander that consults both with a lawyer, but also with an engineer and intelligence officers and other types of experts, which try to provide with a comprehensive understanding of the situation prior to making a decision, which in many cases means life or death for the people from the other side of the decision.
So is part of this role and other roles now being used, or being replaced, I should say, by artificial intelligence?
So Israel uses AI in all levels of operation of the IDF. You have defensive applications of AI, for example, in the Iron Dome. You have command and control applications such as the Alchemist system, which aids in data management. And you also have offensive AI-based systems, for example, munitions for missiles such as the Spike LR2, and also decision support systems, which come to aid the military commander in making a strike decision. It should be noted, though, that those AI-based systems actually come to help more an earlier part of the life target of this, the life cycle of the target.
In essence, it's a force multiplier. I mean, if you're using this kind of technology, then you can presumably carry out more airstrikes than you would using the old model.
So without a doubt, in terms of pace, swiftness, and extent of operations that you can push through, absolutely, it's a game changer.
Well, do Microsoft and OpenAI know that it's being used for this purpose? Is it being used with the tacit approval of these companies or without their knowledge?
So to the best of my understanding, the systems are being used not directly, but rather a similar logic or technological logic is being applied, or applications which build upon existing ones try to help and aid the military commander and the intelligence officer in the decision-making process. But it should be noted that the ultimate decision-making authority still lies with the military commander. That's an obligation under international law, and Israel recognizes that and insists that every military target is authorized by a human being. But you're completely right. The human beings which are entrusted with making this decision today must make much more decision in a much shorter time, and it can make a difference. It can impact the ability of the value-based decision.
Because let's face it, AI is not infallible. It makes mistakes, and I guess there is a risk that people are afraid to go against the machines and the programming. So if that were the case, then it could cost lives.
So you're completely right. While we think highly of ourselves, we human beings at the end of the day are lazy. And if you have an AI application that helps you to make a decision, be that a strike or be that which show you want to watch tonight, then we tend to over-rely on them. And when it comes to decisions that are so crucial and so important as the ones that are entrusted with the military commander, then absolutely the standard is very high. And we need to make sure that there are proper protocols and rules that those people operate under which.
But just on the legal perspective then, with what you have in mind, that has implications, does it not, for the American companies? Because, indirectly, they are now involved in the targeting, potentially, of civilians.
So in legal terms, you have several layers of responsibility. First, you have a layer of domestic law responsibility, and second, you have a layer of international law responsibility. So in terms of domestic law, absolutely, companies are liable under domestic law, and if there is a violation of a law, then they can have some responsibility to it. But at the same time, under international law, we are dealing with a state-centered system, a system that the main duty holders are the states themselves. So under this legal system, we have a lacuna. We have a legal vacuum in which companies actually don't share the same burden of responsibility as states. And that's, in fact, what leads many states to rely on companies. So Blackwater in Iraq, in the Second Gulf War, that was one of the logics of using the private military companies over there.
It's really good to talk to you and get your thoughts on this. Certainly something that's going to raise a lot of attention, I think, the use of AI within modern warfare. Dr. Tal Mimran, thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you, Christian.